Dancing in the minds of mud racers are visions of mayhem, not sugar plum fairies, as they prepare to grapple an unsettling gully in Lima, Ohio. This possessed surface has surrendered some quick times in the past, but it also seems to lay claim to a victim or two. Today, the key will be to see who wields the quickest escape and fears not this troubled terrain. This is Trucks and Tractor Power, featuring the best in NMRO mud racing. Today it's the four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Spring Nationals from the Allen County Fairgrounds here in Lima, Ohio. Hi everybody, I'm Gary Lee and welcome to Trucks and Tractor Power. The action we see here at Lima is beginning to rival places like Bloomsburg and Sedalia, and we always have top caliber cars. In fact, the competition usually generates some very fast runs. We have a stellar field for this spring fling. And here with more on today's competition is Army Armstrong.
Gary, with all the action that took place at Lima last year, a major motorsporting feat was overlooked. A new world record on a 180-foot track took place right here. 2.55 seconds by Ron Pence. Pence said that record would not be broken. However, the tribe of horsepower that we have back in the pit area here with us today, they're kind of reading a riot act to Pence. As far as they're concerned, he's going to be like Custer, a little bighorn. They're coming after his scalp. Let's see if they can get it.
Okay, we're set to go. There's a look at Dan Brown, who won the cut tire class in this event. The track today is a bit on the dry side, which means sticky, heavy mud. Now, there's a look at the fiberglass Vicky body of Mike YOSHA's Hyperactive, and Mike, along with others, will be toting some extra pounds today. As Army Armstrong explained, that will not necessarily hurt in this game.
Up until now, there's been a constant motorsports. That is, the lighter something is, the faster it'll go. That is not necessarily the case in mud racing. We're standing next to the world record holder, Ron Pence's vehicle. He holds a world record with a 2.55. The vehicle has to weigh 2,450 pounds. Ron Pence does not weigh anywhere near 2,450. Matter of fact, we found out he weighs around 2,800 pounds. Why is he heavy? Very, very simple. The weight that he has found to be to his advantage. He puts the weight in the frame. This frame is actually heavier than it needs to be, but that also makes it safer than it needs to be. And if you've seen in the sport, these guys are flipping all the time, so a heavier frame definitely has got to be to your advantage. Also, the weight sets over the rear wheels, and when you transfer the weight to the rear wheels, there's just more physical weight to dig into the track. So, Gary, that's the scoop on the weight break in this particular sport.
Yeah, excuse the pun there, Army. Over the far lane, it will be the man very, very familiar with Victory Lane, Tom Meents, in the Mud Patrol out of Paxton, Illinois, and he pulls up alongside Mike YOSHA in Hyperactive.
Both of these drivers trying to get a handle on the track. They're wrecking ordering, if you will. Nobody's been in front of them. They got to try to figure it out. It looks like it's going to hold some speed and horsepower, and nobody really looked to be in trouble.
Yeah, good ride for Tom there. There you saw his time of 2.749 and the Hyperactive at 2.803. Let's look again.
Now, the first two out, look how smooth that track is, but the word in the pit area is this is the place to be, not at the end of the straw.
Well, Tom Meents lays down a good one, gives him something to shoot for. He's with Army.
274. Advantage or disadvantage to go first?
I'd say maybe an advantage today, but we stepped the motor up this year, and we're still having a little bit of traction problems. It's going to take us a little time, but I think when it turns around, it's going to really work to our benefit.
A lot of people are concerned about the starting line. They said if it goes away, there's no hope for the guys in the back of the field. That's why I asked you about being first. What do you think the track will do?
Yeah, I think the track will get worse, but I think there's some good cars back there, yeah.
And one of those good cars is driven by this guy right here, Fred WILHITE. He's coming up. When we come back, stay with us. Welcome back to the Allen County Fairgrounds in Lima, Ohio, where four trucks present the four-wheel Jamboree Spring Nationals, part of the Special Events Performance Series. Neil Smith and American Thunder out of Grantville, Georgia. This rear-engine Power Pro chassis is brand new for the 91 NMRO Rookie of the Year, and Army took a look at it.
Here we are with Neil Smith's American Thunder. I want to show you some similarities here to drag racing. Keyflight Chrysler Hemi engine, 1471 supercharger, and Enderle injector. That is the part that makes it go. Now, there's another interesting part located on the very back of this vehicle. That's the part that makes it whoa. Look, Jim Dees out of California has actually designed a twin parachute setup for the mud racers in order to stop these vehicles. So once again, the technology that's been so famous in the sport of drag racing is working its way over to the sport of mud racing.
Well, Smith will take on Buck Henderson in Appetite for Destruction, a nitrous-injected 28 Roadster. So will we see the chute deployed?
I don't know. I think they have to clean that thing up.
And repack it.
Exactly. That's why you got a crew. Let's see what's going to happen. Good run. Number looked good. What was it, Gary? Whoa, we got another trouble.
Yeah, before we look at the number, Buck was in all kinds of trouble at 5.62. No chute for NEAL at a 2.746.
Okay, now, American Thunder goes through and leaves a good lane for the man behind him. We could be seeing something happen here and that a lane going away.
Let's talk to Neil Smith.
274, you're the guy they're all coming after now.
That felt pretty good. This is a brand new car, and I had to back off of it a couple of times. We wanted to pull to the right just a little bit, but I'm real pleased with it as far as power range, but we can get a lot more out of it. But I hope that's going to hold, but I don't feel like it.
Not showing a lot of confidence right there as we take a look at my favorite Martian, Fred WILHITE Money Pit. He could put some sponsorship names on those little balls coming out of the...
Gary, ever since he put that helmet on, he's been your main man. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm worried about the lane that WILHITE's in rolls out. The man in front of him has problems. That could be indication of the lane going away. Meanwhile, the lane closest to us, downtown Brown, looks to have a real good smooth lane. Maybe get a kick out of the middle. We got to wait and see when he plants the horsepower. There's that kick.
They were both kicking through that lane there. WILHITE out of his lane, disqualified. We'll take a look now at the time for Dan Brown at 2.842. That is good for, I believe, third on the leaderboard. Dan, of course, won the cut tire class here at the Spring Nationals. Take a look again, coming right at you.
Well, you know, you think, looking at it from the side, it's a straight race. No way. Check that out.
Well, let's go down and talk to Dan Brown.
Looked like you backpedaled about 3/4 of the way through. Is that because you're making too much horsepower or the track's not holding the horsepower you have?
Well, we got out there about half track and the thing just left the ground and I heard it buzz up, and when it come back down, that's when you heard it backpedal. It just caught and hooked hard again. It just, it left completely off the ground. We must have got 3-4 foot of air out of the back end out there.